At the beginning of the 20th century, as millions of Jews fled pogroms in Tsarist Russia, about 2 million emigrated to the United States. Around 45,000 chose to join the Zionist project in Palestine. The Jews who came to America came to become Americans, contributing to the economy and society of their adopted nation. Despite facing discrimination, American Jews made significant contributions to every sphere of American life and rose to prominent positions in virtually every field. In contrast, the Jews who went to Palestine were not seeking to become Palestinians or integrate into the local society. They had other plans for the locals, and Zionist leaders were explicit as to what they were. The native population had to go. In 1896, a founding father of Zionism, Theodor Herzl, wrote, "We shall try to spirit the penniless population across the border by procuring employment for it in the transit countries while denying it any employment in our own country." Vladimir Jabotinsky, founder of the revisionist Zionist movement, wrote in 1923, "To think that the Arabs will voluntarily consent to the realization of Zionism in return for the cultural and economic benefits we can bestow on them is infantile. This childish fantasy comes from some kind of contempt for the Arab people, of some kind of unfounded view, as a rabble ready to be bribed in order to sell out their homeland for a railroad network." To the Palestinians, the European immigrants' claim of birthright seemed absurd. They had lived alongside Jews for centuries, and the Palestinian Jews looked like Arabs, spoke Arabic, and shared their Arab culture. These new arrivals looked, sounded, and acted like white Europeans and made no secret of their belief that their European culture was superior. 70% of Palestinians lived in hundreds of rural farming villages. Birth registries, tax documents, and British and Ottoman land titles traced every single resident's ties to the land dating back centuries. This was the world the Zionists intended to erase and replace with a Jewish state. But there was a problem. Under the British, Palestinian birth rates had risen to the highest in the world. At the same time, infant mortality was reduced by half. This resulted in an Arab population explosion. What made matters worse for the Zionists is that the increase wasn't due to immigration, so better immigration controls would not affect Arab population growth. But what about claims of mass Arab immigration? When you do the math with Muslim Palestinians having 8.5 children per mother and dropping infant mortality, the Palestinian population would have been even bigger if not for Palestinian emigration to Latin America. This massive natural growth, combined with hundreds of thousands of Jewish immigrants who needed jobs, overwhelmingly met the demands of the developing economy. Crucially, contemporary records, like the Jewish Agency's submissions to the Peel Commission, focused on concerns around limits on Jewish immigration and showed no alarm about a supposed mass influx of Arab workers. So what was the solution to an Arab birth rate that the Zionists had no control over? David Ben-Gurion, chairman of the Jewish Agency Executive and later Israel's first prime minister, said in 1938, "I support compulsory transfer. I don't see in it anything immoral." And the initial transfer was to be just phase one. Ben-Gurion also said, "After the formation of a large army in the wake of the establishment of the state, we will abolish partition and expand to the whole of Palestine." We can sum it up in Ben-Gurion's own words. Let us not ignore the truth among ourselves. Politically, we are the aggressors and they defend themselves. The country is theirs because they inhabit it, whereas we want to come here and settle down, and in their view, we want to take away from them their country. The double standard applied to Palestinians is astonishing. Consider the hundreds of thousands of American Jews who voted for Trump, whose number one campaign promise was to build a wall to keep immigrants out of the U.S. Yet, they see Palestinians as monsters for resisting the handover of their homeland to immigrants. The Jews who immigrated to the USA made life better for every American. The Zionists who immigrated to Palestine had very different goals. Is there any population anywhere in the world that would welcome a group of immigrants whose stated intention was to kick them out of their homeland to create an exclusive state for themselves. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you would like to see more content like this.